Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Oh, look at Nuss Flush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Kengan. Kenny Kengan wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Kengan, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97 home. That is great. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian, Billy Friedrich, Joe's one all coming down the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
Get 'em, Jimmy. Where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm not cracking. We stacking chips, all of this. What I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated. Bouquett produce, fade the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They get slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a little weapon 'cause we need. Oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing.
All right, say hey everyone, welcome into Betting with Bouquet. My name is Jose Bouquet. We must not dilly-dally here off the top of the show as we have our next expert for only a short amount of time, but we do have a short amount of games, so we will get through all of them here. So let's not waste any time. Let's bring on our first guest, the man that hits Eagles on regularity. He's a good golf capper as well, and even better hockey capper. It is our friend, Mr. Gokster, joining us again. Mr. Gokster, how was your first day at work?
Oh, it was good time. Good time. A lot of hockey sticks there. I could tell you fucking 30 different curves on a hockey stick nowadays. But yeah, no, it was good. Hockey bets, so that's what matters. We went 1-2 yesterday, so looking to bounce back. I got 3 plays today, guys. Small 4-game card. So let's get after it. Good to see y'all.
Let us get after it. Indeed, it is nice to see you, Gokster. It's nice to see everyone in the chat. And let's not waste any time as we have you for a short amount of time here. We'll start off with Buffalo Sabres, Pittsburgh Penguins. We don't have many confirmed goalies yet, but we have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen versus Tristan Jarry, unconfirmed both sides here, Mr. Gokster. I'm excited to hear your take on this game. Go ahead and cook here. What do you have on this one?
Go ahead and cooks. Yeah, so Sabres going to be on a back-to-back tomorrow at Columbus. It's going to be also their first road game in North America. They didn't look too good, though, in their first couple games at home. Played Florida there, lost that one. Playing Utah on Saturday. Or sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one there. Yeah, they got the back-to-back against Columbus, and they got Chicago on Saturday. I got nothing. Short and sweet. I got nothing on this game. I leaned to the over. Something I want to look at, though, for you guys is penalty minutes against, penalty minutes by opponent. So just kind of, if you're getting a lot of penalty minutes against, teams are taking penalties, that tells me you're skating. That's what you kind of want to see, right? So let's just dive into that. 36-36. So it's pretty much a wash on Buffalo. So I wouldn't, I guess, take too much into that. That's kind of a wash there. And then 24-24. So both teams, they're even, right? So that's kind of a wash. A couple of games coming up that they're going to mean a little more for y'all. But in this game, they got Carolina Friday, the Penguins coming off the big win against Montreal, Jose. It's going to be a no play. Luukkonen, it's hard for me to tell what he's going to do. They both these goalies, it's early on, but they both got a 886, 866 goals against. Yarry's allowed 6 and 3. It's a game I'm going to stay off, guys, but I wouldn't talk anyone off the dog here, to be honest, because that's just how bad Buffalo's been. Bettor is day-to-day, but I have a slight lean to Buffalo in the first period here.
Okay, fair enough. A lean to Buffalo there. I'll quickly mention markets. As we've talked about, markets in hockey kind of don't mean as much here, but I'll mention them. 82% of the bets, 83% of the money on the Pittsburgh Penguins here, and 87% of the bets, 91% of the money on the over in this game. We've gone from minus 125 to about minus 123, so not much movement. And totals wise, we have gone up about 3 cents. 6 minus 120, now to minus 123 at our friends at Bet Online. So no action there to start off our card. Let's move on to Kings Maple Leafs here.
There we go.
The Kings, a team that they should be good, but they continue to make questionable goalkeeping decisions here, Gokster. And I'm interested to hear your take on who they have in net here. Darcy Kemper has been out there, unconfirmed right now. Anthony Stolarz is seemingly likely for the Leafs here today. And a quick market rate right here for the money line and total here. 87% of the bet, 75% of the money on the Maple Leafs. Kind of unsurprising there. And totals-wise, as is with all these totals, it seems, 75% of the bets, 77% of the money on the over in this game. And with the total we have, let me double check here. We have gone from a 6 juice to the over, and we are still there, minus 120. No movement here. Kind of makes me lean under here, Gokster. What do you think?
That's actually, I know after yesterday I said I was kind of looking at the over, but more I was looking at this game. I tweeted out Toronto in regulation, but a little nervous on that one just because looking at the lineup, guys, right now for the Kings, like they're pretty damn deep. They're deep, Jose. They lost 8-7 to Ottawa, right? That they were looking good at just their goaltending. Red Light Riddick, that's the question. I got bit yesterday by expecting Fleury in that game, and then Gustafsson came in. Guy scored a damn goal, Jose. Did you see that? Gustafsson scored a goaltender.
I did see that. I just flipped that bitch up in there.
Honestly, so that kind of hurt us. So the goaltending is key. Kemper does not look good. Like I said, they got the back-to-back tomorrow. They're going to be playing Montreal at the Bell Center. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I do agree, but what I fired on was no goal in the first 10 minutes here. Doughty's going to be out for the Kings. Kayev's also on the IR. Nylander's day-to-day. Nylander's day to day, so they're no Nylander. Tavares, sorry, I have here with a little bit of a warning sign, so I don't know if he's not practicing or what. Illness on Tuesday, so a little bit of an illness going through the locker room. I don't like this play anymore. I just tweeted it out, but more we're looking at these last minute changes, guys. Toronto, I don't know how they're going to look coming off an 8-7 loss. Kings are going to be chomping at the bit. They can score 7 goals. It's just stopping the puck, and Toronto's a little bit weaker right now. No goal in the first 10 minutes, plus 140. Really like that one. Wouldn't talk anyone off the first period under, full game under. I hope Toronto wins in regulation. I can't pull it. What I might do, Jose, I'm actually going to bet the other side. I do not usually do this, but just to save this one, because the Toronto regulation, guys, I am a little bit nervous about. I've already tweeted it out. So if I go with the Kings on the money line, it's plus 160. So
yeah,
if Toronto ends up winning, then it's just a wash. But if the Kings end up winning, we can at least win a little bit something out of this, because I do think the Kings kind of might have Toronto in a bit of a spot. Toronto hasn't played since Saturday too, so there were 3 days off. Kings just played the other night against, like I said, Ottawa, 8-7 game. Their offense is pretty damn deep. Power plays too. I was talking about against an opponent, 38-38. So they just got to stop taking so many damn penalties. But they're skating, and teams are taking penalties against them. So I think the Kings are live here. 26% power play too for the Kings, 0% for Toronto. And that's at home. 75% penalty kill. The Kings are live here, so I'm going to bet the other side. Don't usually do that. Plus 160 on the Kings, and no goal in the first 10 minutes. Plus 140, Jose.
All right. Well, beautiful work there. A little cold feet for Gokster, the Maple Leafs fan, but
what do you guys think in the chat? Well, I'd like to hear what you guys think. 3 days off rest there. Rusty, I agree there, wager. You're going to bet the other side. Screams Kings money line at plus 151. Yeah, I see 160 at one of these points bet. They got a nice plus 160. So, I like this game here tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fun. I'm going to be thinking about you a lot here tonight, Gokster, thinking about this. And yes, North End, the worst case scenario is Leafs in overtime. Let's not even mention that, North Ender. But
let's not even bring that into existence, North Ender.
All right, let's go to our next game. And Nasty Nate brings us there with a Bruins smash, Bruins Avalanche here. I've heard a lot of shit talk about the Avalanche to start off the season. They've been playing poorly. I saw Cale Makar saying he sucks right now, blah, blah, blah. But Gokster, I am 0-3. 0-2, actually, at betting the Bruins this year so far. I've bet them against both times they've played Florida. Yeah. They've disappointed me both times. And, plus money here again. I was interested in the Bruins, but goddamn, do I keep getting disappointed by this team. Swayman's late contract is going to be, it's going to take him a little bit to, I guess, get going. But I don't know. I don't know here, Gokster. What do you think here?
Well, I just see McAvee. Someone told him to take the Bruins over 6.5. I'm on the other side there. I think this is going to be a lower, tighter game. Colorado, they got to start playing a little bit better defensively. Their offense is not. I told you on the last week, I think, Jose, this team is not as fast as what you've seen in the past. They got really one line that can really fire right now, guys. That's the McKinnon line. It's got Ross Colton and Rantanen, and then the second line, Middlestad, Ritchie. They really Parker Kelly on the third line. Jose, he was just in the AHL in Belleville playing third line minutes in the AHL. Now he's not a bad player, but he's not a goal scorer at all. They have more grit and grind on their bottom lines nowadays, and you're playing Boston. That's what Boston does too. Bottom two lines, grit and grind. Makar's with Oliver Kylington. That's a guy they picked up from the Flames, who's had a lot of injury problems. So don't know how he's going to mesh or how he's been meshing with that. The defenseman, Taze is also day-to-day. Devon Taze, they got injuries now catching up to him. Lehkonen. I don't get this line, Jose. This is the head scratcher of the day. When I saw plus 100, and then it even moved to plus 105. So I don't know if it's a bait and switch, the cheese, get the cheese and he gets, slammed on it. But I think Boston are live here. I'm actually taking the under 6.5, though. I think this is going to be a lower. It's going to be an intense game. Yeah, Swayman hasn't looked the greatest, but I expect a bounce back performance from him. Didn't play a lot in the preseason. And then Georgiev, that's the big thing, guys. Georgiev, he's pretty much, if he doesn't start playing well here, they're going to end up picking up a goalie at this rate because they can't ride with a number one in Georgiev if he's playing like this. So I think this is a good spot for an under, guys. The side, I wouldn't talk you guys off Boston, but the line it's doing this as long as we have, Jose. This line is just kind of a head scratcher. Their backs are against the wall. It's a grit and grind team. They're going to not give Boston much ice here tonight. Should be a lower scoring game.
All right, lower scoring game, but no official action on this game. Well, I should say no side action. You're on the under.
Under 6.5. I want to take Boston so bad, man, but I'm gonna lay off this one. They're gonna be raw. They're gonna be moving tonight. It's not easy to score on the Boston defense. Even Swayman and I expect to have a good game tonight.
All right. Well, under for Gokster, and that leads us to our last game right before Gokster has to depart us here. Utah Hockey Club versus the Anaheim Ducks. Admittedly, every time I see the Utah Hockey Club, I think it's a brand new team full of new players, but I forget it's the Coyotes from last year. So that's something that happens to me frequently. I will quickly mention 70% of the bets, 69% of the money on Utah here. And for the total, 76% of the bets, 78% of the money on the over. We have a 6 for the total. It's gone up from -118 to -122 at Bet Online here. And daily faceoff, no confirmed goalies yet, but they're listing Connor Ingram and Lucas Dostal to start this off here, Gokster. And by the way, Stolars is confirmed now, and Tristan Yari is likely now for your updates there. But yes, Gokster, go ahead. Cook your last game here on the program. Before you go bend some sticks, let us know.
All right, guys, let's finish it off here. It's the home opener for the Ducks here, Jose. They don't play till Friday, too, against Colorado. Dostal, he's going to start. He's got to start. He had a shutout last game he played against San Jose. Ingram, he's got an 874 early save percentage, not the greatest, but penalty minutes here against an opponent's here, 43-33. That's a team that likes to skate, likes to that pretty much forces the other team to keep up with them. 16-14 for the Ducks. I don't think that means too much. That tells me that they could be in trouble here. It is their home opener, 30% power play for Utah. I think the Ducks got to keep up with the Utah Hockey Club. Awful name. Should have went with the Yeti. But yeah, I leaned to both teams to score in the first period, kind of over, full game over. But more I'm thinking about it, I think Utah. They got Boston on Saturday at home, which is going to be a big game. Don't know if they're not looking towards that game. I don't think so. I would lean towards Utah here, kind of the over, but this is stay off for me.
All right, a stay off game to end the card here with Mr. Gokster. Gokster, real quick, recap your action before you head off to another day of your lovely new job.
Yeah, so Irish King, check me out there, Gokster99, brother. I got my book of knowledge, I like to call it, dating back to 2021. So you can see all the records and record keeping there. But yeah, looking forward to getting after it today on the grind. Got to get going here. Jose, have the good rest of the show, guys. Cash some tickets. Good luck tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Beautiful, Mr. Gokster. Thank you very much. Good luck at work, my man. It's always nice, even when we have Gokster for a little bit. It's nice to see Mr. Gokster come on the program, say hello, and do the whole thing. So, shout out to you guys for bearing with us in the quick breakdowns there. So, shout out to you guys there. All right, let's move on, and I'm going to quickly talk about this lone MLB game. I'm sorry I don't have my record up, especially to Irish King, I guess, today. I didn't have time to update it yesterday. I went 0-2 yesterday, so I'm up about a unit on the year, a little over a unit probably. But I was on the under yesterday. I was on the Guardians. Both did not cash. Guardians are probably done in their series now, unfortunately for them. But that leads us to the series that honestly I think is more interesting. And I guess this is and I don't really guess. I think this is the series where the World Series winner is going to come out of, honestly, but. We'll talk about this now. Walker Buehler versus Luis Severino, Dodgers, Mets. Wow. I mean, let me tell you what. This line yesterday was flipped. It was -108. New York Mets, -102, believe Dodgers yesterday on the program. Talked about it for a second. It's very coin flippy, but man, it feels like in this series, you take the Dodgers in the games where it's even, tied, and then you take the Mets when they're down and they need that game. So I've kind of leaning right with you guys in the chat right now. I don't want to bet any totals right now either because it seems like all the under love from early in the playoffs is now just flipped and it's been over City here. But yeah, I do like the Dodgers here. It's kind of scary. Walker Buehler has not been good on the road all year. And, all year it can be a little loosely said in this kind of sense because he's only pitched, like 10 starts maybe? I'll look it up right now. But I'm a little worried about Walker Buehler. I just think that, excuse me, it's his time. Christ, I'm getting a little sick here as well, guys. So I apologize in advance that my vocals might not be great here. But Walker has pitched 16 starts this year, 75 innings, a lot less than what he usually does. Has pitched, fine in occasions, but again, it's mostly been all at home. His road starts, and I'll quickly give you guys his road splits here. Home 4.6 ERA and a road 6.53. It's a little worry. I'd probably lean over for the first time all playoffs. Is that I'd bet the over in this game. 24,000 tickets in on this game right now, which is nice to see. Totals wise, 88% of the bets and money on the over. Again, kind of not surprising because all these games have been flying over in these last few days, especially since this series started. It's funny. This total did start out at an 8, and we've dropped down to a 7.5, and it was 8 juiced to the over, and now we're 7.5 minus 110 each way here. So total wise, I'll stay off. I lean over, quite frankly. Like I said, it's one of those rare totals where I lean over in this game. But let's talk about the money line here and talk about how this has flipped here. So this opened up minus 110 for the New York Mets, even money for the Dodgers, and this is bet online. And then eventually it just slowly does that flip, got to even both sides last night around midnight, and then overnight people have just been quietly betting the Dodgers here to get this at minus 112. And ticket splits are not terribly, favoring the Dodgers in this case. Only 58% of the bets, 61% of the money on the Dodgers. So I do think the Dodgers are the right side. Maybe you can be safe and take a team total over for the Dodgers because it does seem like Severino is going to be vulnerable here today. Team total over for the Dodgers, 3.5 minus 145. Kind of gross there. You can take a first 5, 1.5 over minus 150. Still gross. But I think I'm just going to roll my official play in this game. Will be Dodgers money line. It is minus 112 right now. I'll quickly talk about bullpens as well. We obviously had the day off, so that will be very helpful to both teams. So we have, and it's funny, the Dodgers didn't use any of their good arms last time out. They had a bullpen day, and they went down immediately. So they threw Brent Honeywell and Edgardo and Enriquez for a lot of that game, which saves their bullpen. Trinan, Kopech, Evan Phillips have not thrown since Friday. So they're going to be full ready to go, rested. And as for the Mets, Edwin Diaz, Phil Maton, and Ryan Stanek threw a shitload on Monday. They'll be available here today, but you guys know that I'm always a little worried about these pitchers or these relievers on a shitload of innings there, or excuse me, a shitload of pitches there 2 days later. Reed Garrett has not thrown since Sunday. But we'll see. I'm assuming we'll see Phil Maton, we'll see Ryan Stanek, and we'll see Reed Garrett here again at the very least. Phil Maton has seemingly pitched in every game. Yeah. And by the way, JPZ, 100% agree. 100% agree there. If you see that guy come on the mound, it's an over. So, yeah. Spammington says, I need a vitamin ASAP. You're probably right about that. I need some vitamin C in my life, I guess. Here as well. Team total over 3.5 minus 130 for Justin McKelvey. Not bad. Not bad at all. Nice to see you, Red Girl, here. But yeah, I will be on the Dodgers here. I will probably, it depends on the market and we'll see how it goes. But like I said, I think it's Dodgers in all the games that are even, 1-1, 2-2, whatever it may be, 0-0, obviously. And then when the Mets need it and their backs are against the wall, you take the Mets here in the next game here. So that's kind of what I expect to do. Game 3, Dodgers. Game 4, Mets. And we'll see what the totals have done here, or what the totals will be doing here in the coming days. So that is MLB officially there. Only one play, Dodgers money line. And like I said, I'm up about a unit on the year now. I went 0-2 yesterday. I just haven't done my record keeping yet because I've been so busy doing other things, unfortunately. So we'll keep it rolling here. And I want to check out the comments here real quick here to see what you guys have to say. It's funny. And Irish King, we will not block you if you ask us how often we win. So don't worry about that, because we'll post the records and such as well. I mean, we normally do. Like I told you today why I didn't personally. But I do like the Dodgers here. Ron Crawford likes Dodgers. MLB spreadsheet minus 104 there for him. Wager Detective is saying Dodgers to the World Series, and he's with me here, so that's nice to see here. And Andrew G, I'm assuming he's saying the books are with open arms taking that New York Yankee money here, and I definitely was hoping they would lose yesterday, Andrew G, so I agree with you there. But Walker Buehler has the best start of his season right here, and the Dodgers win this game. All right. Let us roll on. We have our college football segments ready to go here. They're all going to be cut out. I have to cut out yesterday's as well. So you're going to get a lot of college football here in the next few days. And what a good guest to bring on this college football season. Dominating the college football season. Though he tries to jinx my bets with him. He tries. But we still cash nonetheless. It's Wine Time Sports joining the program. Wine, you son of a bitch, man. You try to fucking jinx my bets, and you put me through this anxiety, but we cash on the other side. How are you doing?
I'm good, Jose. Yeah, man, anxiety was going both ways in that game. The heart was pounding in that one because at halftime, I thought the game was over. I thought USC had him outright, honestly. Everything that I expected to see from Penn State in that first half we saw. But that being said, they came out explosively second half. And we talked about they brought in an offensive coordinator from Kansas last season who completely revamped that offense. And we're seeing what that Kansas offense is doing now without him, nothing. Maybe they didn't show all their tricks previously before that second half started. But this Penn State team does look legit. Everything I said last week about them being fraudulent, I was wrong. I'm here to admit that. They had a big win in a hostile environment. I'm not sure if everyone was watching that game, but USC had a crowd there. They were rocking, man. And what a game it was for college football. What a day for college football, man. We had so many crazy comebacks, so many good games, meaningful games, college playoff type football games. So I'm excited to attack week 8 with you, my guy. Love to see my record up there, man. Love to see that I'm up about almost 8 units on the season. It's a blessing, man. Thanks for the opportunity, Jose, Jimmy, for having me on here. Share these with you guys. But with that being said, let's get to it.
Yes, thank you, Wine Time, for being such a dominator on the college football season this year. So far, 60.4%, and looking to continue that here with, of course, we're talking UCLA to start this off here. Who else will we talk? Rutgers, UCLA here. Wager Detective saying UCLA plus 4.5 here. UCLA has the toughest schedule in the nation here. And UCLA has been a program that's been getting, publicly shit on a little bit here. Down. They hire a new coach, blah, blah, blah. But Wine, you stay steadfast with these Bruins here, and I love to see it. Let us talk about a market here real quick. 71% of the bets, 81% of the money on the UCLA Bruins. Shockingly enough, I thought we would get a little more Rutgers love here, but none for them. Now let's check out where we have on the total here. 86% of the bets, 95% of the money on the over in this game. Fascinating stuff. Let us see where the markets have moved this as well here. UCLA, wow, this opened up and openers for college football a little more screwy, but this opened up at a 7, and we've dropped down to 4.5 here. That 7 was on the 13th of this week, so Sunday it opens up at a 7 and it's quietly dropped down from 6 and went from a 6.5 to a 4, and that 4 went from a 4 to a 4.5 here. So fascinating line movement in this game so far. And as for the total, I will bring that up right now because that is honestly that interests me more here.
Oh, yeah.
Would love to see an under in this game. 40 opener goes up to 40 and 41 and 41 and a half at bookmaker here. Fascinating stuff, Wine Time. What do you think your UCLA Bruins are going to do here against Rutgers?
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup in the Big Ten, Jose. Talk about two teams that are kind of, UCLA's at the bottom part of the Big Ten right now, probably the worst team in the Big Ten. Not saying that they have the worst roster or anything. I mean, we've talked about it week after week. They've had the hardest schedule in the nation. Wager Detective talked about it. I mean, the last 5 opponents they face are all in the rankings. 3 of them are in the top 10. Really impressive. And, what has UCLA been able to do, Jose, these last 4 weeks? They've been able to cover the spread. We've been on them the last 4 weeks. They're 4-2 ATS this season against the spread, including 4-0 the last 4 games. They were up 10-0 against a very good Minnesota team that was visiting the Rose Bowl in a not so hostile environment. I think if the fans would have showed out a little more to that game, they probably could have actually won that game outright. Like I said, they were up 10-0 going into the half. With that being said, though, Minnesota made a lot of adjustments. Max Brosmer was able to get the ball out on time. They were able to run the ball more efficiently, and they were able to stop UCLA and hold them to just the passing game, which is kind of what UCLA's been all year. They're kind of one-dimensional in the passing game. They need to get the run game going. With that being said here, Jose, Rutgers, on the other hand, what do they like to do? They like to run the ball. That's all they like to do here with Greg Schiano. We talked about this team probably, half the weeks we've been on here about this Rutgers team. We've been on them. We've been off them. This time, man, Rutgers coming off 2 losses. They've only been able to score 7 points in each of their last 2 games. Give or take, it was against Nebraska and Wisconsin. Wisconsin, though, man, I did not see Wisconsin being able to put 42 on the board against Rutgers and only hold them to 7. Impressive win right there for Wisconsin. They're starting to get that offense a little more familiar with that new quarterback over there. He's looking a little better, and they're running the ball really good. With that being said, I think that's what UCLA has to do here, Jose. Going into this season, my expectations was for UCLA to run the ball a lot this season. They've got a really good running back there in TJ Harden. He hasn't been able to put up the best numbers, but he also hasn't been able to get the touches. But he's very explosive with the ball in his hands, and I expect UCLA to run the ball here and burn the clock down as they have been in all these games. When they're on offense, Jose, they go out there, they take up 4 to 6 minutes. They don't even score sometimes. They get stopped. Sometimes they have to settle for a field goal, but this team likes to take the time with their ball. Eric Bieniemy likes to take his time. He doesn't want any mistakes happening on these drives. So they really use all that clock up. I mean, they huddle up after almost every single play. It's kind of crazy. Even when they're down double digits, they're still huddling up. With that being said, I think Rutgers is going to want to run the ball. What's UCLA been so good at this season, Jose? Stopping the run. They've been really good against the run, not so good against the pass here. Rutgers has a really good running back. With that being said, and Kyle Monangai, a guy I'm really high on going into this season. One of the better running backs in the Big Ten, potentially in the nation too. This guy's really good. He's a big back. He's not afraid to get tackled. He's not afraid to get hit hard, and he's going to go after you. With that being said, we're seeing a low total here again, Jose. And, last week for this game, we talked about this under, man, how it was going to go under, went under easily. And I said, why is the public hammering this over? Nufflush Allen said, the public loves overs when they're low totals like this of 40. But when you got 2 teams that aren't scoring on offense, that are going to probably run the ball here more, I expect UCLA to run the ball a lot more here in this matchup because I think they match up well against that linebacking core over there in Rutgers. With that being said, I don't think this game touches 40. I don't think this game touches 37, probably 35 at the absolute most, but we're on the under 41. I got in on Monday at minus 115. You can probably get a little bit better of a number right now at probably minus 110. But we're on the under in this, guys. We've been on the unders all season with this UCLA squad, and they've been cashing. Their defense is good, and they're not able to score. And Rutgers hasn't been able to score as of recent either. The books know something because the public's coming in on the over, and the line's only moving down towards the under. So give me under 41 in this spot.
All right, under 41. And as always, follow Wine Time on Twitter at Wine Time Sports. Put those tweet notifications on, and you'll know exactly when these plays drop. Under 41 there for Mr. Wine Time Sports. Beautiful play. I like it here. Chat seems to agree as well. Under kind of thing. I am a little worried. Andrew G mentioning about the West Coast to East Coast travel here, but maybe that'll help the offense not show up here as well. And help
Jose too. I forgot to mention UCLA has flown the most miles this season. Not only have they had the toughest schedule, but they have flown the most miles, and over the whole season they do fly over the most miles. Coach Foster talked about in practice this week how that's not really affecting them. It's more of the crowd when they go to these venues. And we talk about Rutgers, Jose. I mean, this isn't a hostile environment by any means. Yeah, they had the blackout game They have some games where they definitely show out, but I don't know if this is going to be an actual sellout crowd. They've lost the last 2 games. They got embarrassed at home last week against a Wisconsin team that's not that good. Team that I think UCLA could probably beat outright as well. So with that being said, I just think the sale is way under, man. UCLA being able to go cross country, I don't know if they'll be able to put up 20, and I know Rutgers isn't going to be able to put up 20. A clear cut under here, guys.
All right, clear cut under. Let's keep it rolling here. Wine time, beautiful breakdown. Let's talk about a game that I'm not going to lie. This game feels like it should be in Ireland, just because I think this is what opened up last year in Ireland, I think. But this is Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, a Notre Dame team that I don't know, man. I just don't know what to do with Notre Dame in general. I don't want to believe in them, but they keep slowly climbing up the rankings here. They had, one slip-up game, and in this college football world that we live in now, those one slip-up games are acceptable now. But here we are, and everyone's betting Notre Dame as well, unsurprisingly, against Georgia Tech. 80% of the bets, 88% of the money on Notre Dame here, very early out on the week, I should say. This opened up at an 8 line time, and it is skyrocketed to Notre Dame. Opened up at an 8, and it moved up 2 points to 10 here on the 14th on Monday. So it's very fascinating there. I went up to a 10, to an 11, to an 11.5, even got up to 12 to settle back down to 10.5, 11.5 this morning, or I should say yesterday morning. But wow, pretty interesting line movement. And with all that, I mean, at least if you're, a guy that bets line movement, you are at least feeling good about yourself because, like I said, 80% of the money and 88% of the bets are on Notre Dame, and at least it's moving in that direction here. For the total, 83% of the bets, 88% of the money on the over here, and we are at a 49, opened at 49, and has not moved here. So another game where I probably lean under here with the market, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this one, Wine.
Yeah, this is a good matchup right here. Georgia Tech surprising a lot of folks this season, being 4-2. Brent Key has his team heading in the right direction. With that being said, what does Georgia Tech like to do, man? They like to run the ball. They're running the ball at a 54% rates, top 25 in the nation. We see that's what they like to do. They've got a good quarterback over there at Haynes King. Doesn't have to do too much to the area. Likes to get involved with his legs as well. Also got a really good running back over there in Jamal Haynes, one of the better running backs in the ACC. Very impressed by this Georgia Tech team. And this spread definitely does surprise me a little bit. But we're not going to get to the spread in this one, guys. We're going to get back to the total in this one again. Notre Dame, what do they like to? They like to run the ball. They don't like to ask Riley Leonard to do too much like he was doing at Duke, throwing the ball all over the place. He throws the ball average about 5 to 6 yards a pass. They're more of a run first, run pass kind of offense here. Notre Dame, elite offensive line, offensive line U right there, as they've gotten the nickname over the last couple of years, developed a lot of good NFL talent over there. They still have a lot of talent over there on the offensive line. And this is a game Notre Dame definitely needs, man. They get this win right here. I don't know if they lose another game this season, potentially. I know they've got USC later this season. That might be the next toughest matchup for them. Very much a college football playoff team. Marcus Freeman has his team heading in the right direction, especially coming off, first loss of the season, took an L against Texas A&M. Ever since then, they've been lights out, though, coming in at number 12. Notre Dame also has a very physical front on defense. These guys like to get to the quarterback. They're big guys over there. And I like both of these defenses. Both of them are very physical. Notre Dame, their secondary is only getting better week by week here. Allowing very little pass yards every single game. With that being said, man, we got a total here about 50. I hate to sound like a broken record here, man, but I'm on the under 50 in this spot, minus 110. I don't think this hits 45, Jose. Two teams that like to run the ball, that will run the ball, and that are going to take their time off the clock and try to burn this game out. So give me the under 50 here in a game that I don't think hits 45. I see it's a 49 right now at some spots. Still like the 49, still endorse the 49. But yeah, Brent Key against Marcus Freeman. This is gonna be a good matchup, grind out matchup. This doesn't hit 45 under.
All right, under. That makes a whole lot of sense to me with the market. So I 100% agree with you there.
Yeah,
under.
Nutflush saying North Carolina put up 34 inch. Yeah, they did. North Carolina did put up a lot of points against that Georgia Tech. With that being said, I think they're going to clean things up here. Notre Dame doesn't have the most explosive offense. Yeah, they smashed in their last game against, I believe it was Stanford, I want to say. But by any means, they're not trying to blow these teams out of the building. They're trying to get these W's. They've got bigger goals in mind at the end of the season for this team. They're just trying to get the wins. Do they cover this spread in this one? Maybe. But I just think this is another under spot right here. Two teams that love to run the ball. That Notre Dame, they're really good red zone defense as well. So I think they're going to be able to stop Georgia Tech when they get down the field. Even if Georgia Tech is moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock, I think they're going to have to settle for field goals.
All right. Under here as well. I agree with you. I like the under in this game. And let's talk about your last game here, Wine Time. A game that we'll talk about here again very shortly. LSU, Arkansas here. Honestly, a little surprised to see this short line. You know, Arkansas has been a team that's been, and by the way, the total is obviously run on screen. It's on 152.5. But I'm surprised to see Arkansas, Arkansas in this game spread wise. I thought it would be closer to 7, and that obviously makes me feel like they're definitely live in this game. So let's talk about the market in this game, and then I want to hear from you, Wine, as you are the college football expert here. 68% of the bets and 65% of the money on LSU. Kind of not surprising there. Not a public team, but a team that everyone loves. Opened up at 3, is now down to 2.5. That does, again, make me feel like Arkansas is definitely alive in this game. I'll reiterate it again. 68% of the bets, 65% of the money on LSU. We've gone for a 3 to a 2.5. Fascinating stuff here. And for the total here, we have pretty split for once. 57% of the bets and 49% of the money on the under in this game in a splitsy kind of game here. And let's see if we've moved anywhere. We have moved 2 points down from the opener. 57, now down to a 57.5. It got down to 54.5 actually at one point. So you can say it went from 54.5 to 55.5, sure. But Arkansas definitely seems like they're live in this ball game. Wine Time, what do you think?
Yeah, they're definitely live in this ball game, Jose. Let's talk about Arkansas really quick. Their losses this season. They took a tough loss to, it was, I believe, Oklahoma State, man, the game that they were up the whole entire game. I remember my guy Dabby Cab was on that game. I mean, Arkansas had that game. I don't know what happened in that. The events that happened at the end of that game, unexplainable, honestly, how they lost that game. With that being said, this team should be 5-1. Their only sole loss coming to Texas A&M team, a team that's going to be in the college football playoff, maybe even win the SEC. With that being said, they go to Kyle Field. They only lose by 4 points to a really good Texas A&M team this season. We talked about that defensive line over there at Texas A&M. A lot of NFL players over there on that side of the football. They've got that team headed in the right direction. That is a college football playoff team with 100% without a doubt. Big win against Tennessee last week. Nico coming to life a little bit over there at Tennessee. Hasn't been playing that good a ball over there, the quarterback. Interesting to see, but we're not really talking about that one. But LSU on the other side, man, I came on here last week. I faded them. I said, this is the first time I'm back my Ole Miss team this season. I was high on this Ole Miss team going to the season. With that being said, I still think they've got still in line for a college football playoff berth if they can win out the rest of the season. But it was a very tough environment over there in LSU, and that secondary came to play. I talked about Blake Baker coming in from Mizzou, the defensive coordinator, changing this defense. Hadn't done that good of a job, but man, what a job he did against that Ole Miss offense, honestly. Only allowed him to 26 points. They limited the deep ball. That's what I said. I said they're going to make those explosive plays on that LSU secondary, and they weren't able to do that. They stopped Jackson Dart, which was very impressive. So this LSU team is definitely heading in the right direction. They're the number 8 team in the nation for a reason, man. You got Arkansas, man. This is probably the best unranked team in the nation right now. In a home environment where it's going to be rocking, Jose. The fans love to come out to this venue. You mostly see it in the beginning of the season, in the non-conference games and the first couple conference games because Arkansas usually fades off, in SEC play. This season's a lot different, though, and I think these fans are going to be rocking out there in Arkansas. And you're going to give me a +3 against the number 8 team in the nation. Something's up on that one. Everyone's betting LSU. The line's down to a 2.5 right now. I don't even believe you can get a 3 right now. I got the 3 last night at -110. It was still there. Gave it out on Twitter. This is a game I think they get outright right here, Arkansas. So you can either take them on the +3, you can take them on the money line. I think both of them are going to hit anyways. I think Arkansas is going to challenge LSU downfield a little bit too. Taylor Green coming over, one of the better athletes at quarterback position in college football. Don't let him take off with his legs because he can run with the ball in his hand. LSU, man, if they can make those same stops that they did against the Ole Miss team last week, it's going to be tough for Arkansas. But with that being said, this is in Arkansas. If it was in LSU, it'd be a lot different. But this is a hostile environment. No one really talks about this Arkansas environment, but they're going to be wild out there. They're going to be rocking. Give me Arkansas +3, -110. Sprinkle a little bit on that money line too, because I think they're going to get them outright in this one, guys.
I agree with you. I think Arkansas wins this game outright. A little hangover spot from beating LSU, beating Ole Miss, the whole thing. So I like this play a lot. I'm going to be on Arkansas with you here. Shout out to Just My 2 Cents, a great staple of the UFC podcast we have as well. So shout out to you, 2 Cents. Some people, and by some people I mean just me, call him a spicy little potato. So shout out to my spicy little potato, Just My 2 Cents there as well. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I like Arkansas in this game, and I will be moving on them here as well. Wine, a lovely breakdown. It felt rather quick here this week, but it was a great breakdown. Wine time. I appreciate you joining me as always in these games, and I appreciate your best bets. You've been dominating this year so far, and let's keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Jose, I want to give it a little bonus play. I'm not sure if you guys are going to talk about the games tonight with C-Mac. I'm sure he's got something on those games, but we're going to go to – I'm not going to give you guys a huge breakdown on this. It's going to be pretty quick. We're going to get C-Mac in here. I didn't have a whole breakdown on this game, but I do have a play on this one. We're going to go to FIU, UTEP in this one. UTEP 0-6, man. Not a good team at all. Not being able to score points at all. FIU, look on the other hand, not being able to score too much either. UTEP, man. They've been in, I know my guy Jimmy's been on. He loves the UTEP this season, and they've been in the game the first half. In the second half, they've just kind of been imploding a little bit. We have a total here at 47, though, guys. It's opened up at 49.5. I wish I would have got in under. I'm going to go on another under here, guys. I'm going to go on the under 47 at -110 here in this spot. I don't think this is going to hit 45. It might hit 40 at the absolute most. Both teams are going to run the ball here. Both teams are not good in the red zone either. So it's going to be interesting to see how they score here. I'm on the under 47 -110 in this one, though, guys. A little bonus play. Counted on the record, Jose. Yeah, we got a little Wednesday action for us tonight.
All right, beautiful. You see under 47 and
under 47 -110.
All right, under 47 -1 tep, and in the UTEP FIU game. Wow, that let me tell you, wine time. There are college football games that people want to watch, you want to bet, like Georgia, Texas, and then there's FIU and UTEP. And God bless you for being on it. So under 47 in that game. Beautiful wine time. Thank you so much. Again, I appreciate you joining me on these Wednesdays. And again, keep it up. You're dominating college board. We love to see it. And maybe don't jinx the bets on the money line next time. But at least we cash. We're cashing. That's all that matters.
Yeah, no, definitely, Jose. Yeah, always a pleasure with you, my guy. Always a fun time here on these Wednesdays, man. We've been making that cash, man. We're only going to continue to do that this season. Good luck to you on your MLB bets. I'm not sure. Did you have anything in MLB today?
I'm on those Doyers. So
okay, crossed. On the Doyers, yeah. That's going to be a good matchup. I've been staying away from the playoffs the last couple of games. I kind of got involved in the wild card round, but kind of
if I was dominating college football like you, I'd stay off as well.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a little disappointing though because I love baseball, and this season I'm kind of falling off a little bit towards the playoffs, and I've just been so locked into this college football. Yeah, just every single night, guys. I'm capping. I'm into these games, man. Put a lot of time and effort into these, man. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy posting all these plays every single week and hoping that I win, with the data that I have and the stats that I have. But with that being said, appreciate you, Jose, for having me on here, man. Shout out to Pub Sports. Shout out to you, Jimmy, Jeff, everyone behind the scenes. Dabby Cab, my guy on Tailgate. Make sure to join us Saturday morning's Tailgate with Dabby Cab and Moose. Every single Saturday morning, 7 a.m. over here on the West Coast, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Giving out a lot of winners, guys. It seems like whoever Cab brings on, these guys are giving out winners. Moose, Guns pick every single week. Guns has been going off there firing 2-1 every single week in his 3 plays. Guys, just make sure to tune in for that. Catch me on Boston the Sauce on Saturday morning as well. Catch the live stream over on Pub Sports Radio for the morning. I'm not sure if it's going to be a morning or afternoon or evening games this week, guys, but they're going to be rocking on that anyhow. So, yeah, appreciate you, Jose, for having me. Have a good rest of your guys' day and good luck on all your bets.
Wine Time Sports, thank you as always for joining us here. It's a beautiful, beautiful time when Wine Time can join us here. It's very exciting. He's been hitting the board very well recently as well. So shout out to you, Wine Time Sports. And yes, Kong's Clips Tailgate is a must-watch Saturday mornings, especially because Kong's Clips is dominating out there. And shout out to Dabby Cab in the chat. Let's bring on our next guest, a staple here at Pub Sports Radio, a guy that I love capping with, a unicorn capper, and anytime I can get him on the program, I do indeed. It's Connor Miggity Mac Daddy. Connor Mac Picks joining the program.
Hey,
Connor, hello.
sorry, I was on mute. What up?
It's nice to see you, Connor. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little sick, but, can't complain. I'm constantly sick nowadays, apparently, but whatever. It's fine. And it's actually getting cold down here in San Antonio, apparently. So what a time to be alive. And by cold, I mean it's 70 degrees, 60 degrees here. So it ain't actually anything too scary. So Connor, I'm excited to talk about these 4 games. And I did not tell people, but we are going to retouch on some of these games that we've talked about.
I was trying to jump in there real quick, but
I want to go over this again here, Connor. I cannot wait. I want to hear your thoughts.
I know it's a little weird. We have some of the same games, but hey, great minds think alike.
As long as you guys are hopefully on the same side, that would be ideal there. But let's talk about it. Let's first start in the ACC. Connor Mac Picks Boston College, Virginia Tech.
You want to go tonight here?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about tonight. Sure. I'm fine with talking about tonight. We talked about the first game. Well, I guess the second game, UTEP FIU. We talked about it. Wine Time's on the under. Likes that. Connor, Western Kentucky, Sam Houston, also on our board. I often forget that there's Wednesday, Tuesday college football, so that's completely on me. But I'll quickly give you guys the market in Western Kentucky, Sam Houston. Totals-wise, first, 75% of the bets, 72% of the money on Western Kentucky there. On the over. And for the spread, it's pretty split, 50-50, 53% of the bets, 54% of the money on Sam Houston there. So I'll quickly again say 75% of the bets, 72% of money on the over. And we have it pretty split sidewise here for both teams. We have gone down 2 points in Sam Houston. 56 opener, now 54.5. All that money on the over makes me think under. And I will mention quickly here, same kind of scenario for UTEP FIU here. And I will double check. 60% of the bets are on the over. But 40% of the bets and 82% of the money are on the under in UTEP FIU. I can see why Wine Time is on it. Connor Mack, what do you want in this first game? Western Kentucky, Sam Houston.
Western Kentucky, Sam Houston here. This should be a great game. Real quick to the top. I didn't move on this game. And one reason I really couldn't find too much of an edge. When I go straight to these college football games, I look for value. That's the number one. Before anything, we get into any of the numbers. When I go through my numbers, right away is the value. And I don't have it here. And these are both teams I'd like to back. And if you've been backing them, like I have with Sam Houston or a couple spots with Western Kentucky, you've been winning. Both teams 5-1 ATS have made you a ton of money. Western Kentucky, of course, they love to throw the ball. Can they do that here on Sam Houston at home? Vandecamp's been pretty good all year long. Western Kentucky, both these teams just last beat up on UTEP. And Sam Houston's off even a bye. They're off 2 weeks for their 41-21 game. And both those teams ran all over UTEP. We'll get to them next in this one. When I looked at this game, I think Western Kentucky's defense has stepped up a little bit this year, relative to who they played. But I still think Sam Houston has a little bit of the better defense in this one. I know they've gotten to a shootout with Texas State. But, they played New Mexico, Hawaii. They played really, really well. The defense did. And this is just too tough for me. I mean, I really think this is a coin toss. I thought at 3.5, maybe Western Kentucky could be in this game and lean that way. But basically, we have 2.5s everywhere, right? So,
yeah, I
couldn't get there.
I'm seeing that as well. 2.5s across the board here. What did you think on the total here? Did that make you go to the under?
No, I like the under more in the next game. This game, I think we could see some points. Now, whether it gets over, I don't know. And we're at 54.5. So, yeah, I didn't love the under here because I think we could. These offenses have been good. But like I said, at times the defenses have been pretty good here for Western Kentucky, which I've been a little bit surprised in a couple of their games. So, yeah, I'm just off here. Anyone in the chat have anything in this game?
Yeah,
Sportsman, he likes Western Kentucky.
Yeah, Wager likes Western Kentucky there as well. Sportsman likes Western Kentucky first half. And a lot of WKU love here as well. Gorky likes Sam Houston money line. Shout out to you, Gorky. All right, fair enough. And by the way, Kong is just hilarious. There's different problems. There's champagne problems and all this stuff. This is a champagne problem. Kong's Cliffs. I'm a little upset. I'm only up 70 units on the year and took his first losing week of the year. Kong, those are champagne problems right there, Kong. Those are champagne fucking problems. And I'm sure you're going to bounce back.
Well, it's beautiful work, my man. Yeah. Bang those parlays.
Yeah, the 2-unit parlays have just been cash for for Kong's Clips. So shout out to you, Kong. All right, Connor, you ready to get into a little Saturday best bet action here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let us do it indeed. And let's go to the ACC first. Virginia Tech, Boston College here. Virginia Tech, 7-point favorites. I'm a little surprised by that. I'm not going to lie. This is a game in my childhood that I cared a lot about as I grew up being a Boston College fan because in Virginia there are no schools that I liked. So Boston College I liked here. And going to Lane Stadium is tough. Blacksburg, there's nothing to do there. Virginia Tech games are a big deal. I still expect the crowds to be there. But at the end of the day, and I said this was Boston College kind of all year, I would much rather bet on Boston College than against Boston College because Bill O'Brien, he was not a good general manager in the NFL. He was a good coach. He just could not pick the players. And I think he's a good coach in college. And I talked about this earlier in the season as well, Connor. A bad NFL coach is probably still a very good college football coach. I'll just trust them and that level difference right there. So, initially first on, it's Boston College +7 to keep this game close. Defensive struggle. But let's talk about where the market is right now for this game. Virginia Tech, 53% of the bets, 77% of the money on them here. And totals-wise, 83% of the bets and money on the over here. Virginia Tech has not moved from that 7. If anything, it's gone down juice-wise. Was -113, is now down to -107 there. And totals-wise, it was a 49, and we're now dealing with 48.5 here, Connor. What do you think?
Yeah, I love this game. And I had to get it here because I think this game's going to be close. I know this is it, though. You hit it off the top. Tomorrow night, there's nothing to do. This is going to be rocking. The stadium's going to be going crazy.
Yep.
But I think it's lost a little bit over the years, from the 100%. Beamer years, where it was just really tough to go in there and win at night. And I think there's a little too much love here to Virginia Tech. Both these teams off the rip are off the bye. Boston College dealing with a few things with Castellanos. He ended up playing, but had a couple picks in his last one. And they went to Stanford, took care of business after the tough loss to Miami. Did Virginia Tech. These teams, Virginia Tech last year kind of beat up on them too. The offense was very, very good. That was kind of when Drones and them got going in last year's game. Brent Pry, though, as a home favorite, it hasn't been good, Jose. since
No,
he's been
he's
there.
not.
This team
He's
has
not a
won.
good coach in general, I can say.
I don't think he's a great coach either. And I think O'Brien has a little bit of the edge on the other side. One-score games, he's 1-10. They just don't flat out cover here.
Jesus
does
Christ,
Virginia Tech
1-10? Oh, my Lord. That's so bad.
Yeah, one-score games. It is bad. One thing why I like BC in this game, I also lean a little bit to this under because I think the game's played in the 20s. As we've seen kind of all year long, like the Missouri game, I know they beat Michigan State. It wasn't crazy, or even Western Kentucky when they were dealing with a few things in that game as well. They've leaned on their defense, Jose. This Boston College defense, 20th overall. I thought this is where I want them here in this game. And Virginia Tech, I love their defense as well. Maybe not as good. A little bit up and down as they've given up some big plays we saw in that crazy Miami game. But their defense, I think, will be solid here too. But I thought the points were just so valuable in the spot. I just don't see Virginia Tech running away with this. Castellanos, they saw him last year, and it wasn't one of his better games. But I love that he's got the feet in this. He's not the best pocket passer, but I think he can make plays, extend some drives and stuff. So that's why I had to be on BC. I got a 7.5 here, -110. FanDuel, give it to me.
All right, beautiful. And I do expect Castellanos, Thomas Castellanos, not Nick, to play in this game, correct?
Yes, he would go.
All
They're both off bye, so both these teams are. So he's had a couple weeks.
All right, well, there we go. Nut flush, that answers your question there. So, yeah, I like Boston College in this game. Just too many points. Just too many points, I think, as well. So we'll keep it rolling here, and let's talk about a game that Wine Time Sports has talked about here, and I'm excited to hear your take on it, Connor, because I'm always interested to hear when you and Wine Time cross over into the same game here. So we'll go a little out of order here, and we'll talk about LSU Arkansas here. I just mentioned how I think Arkansas is very live in this game. And I think that obviously that this 2.5 number is kind of an indication of what we might see here at home. And sure, Arkansas has shot themselves in the foot a lot this year in close games, but I think I'm going to trust them enough to get to the window with them here, Connor. What do you think?
Yeah, Wine Time broke this down well. This place, I think, will be ready to roll. And what I've seen, the best thing out of this Arkansas team is this defense the last few weeks. Auburn 14, A&M, even in that loss, 21, and 14 to Tennessee. This Tennessee offense that everyone's raving about. They didn't play anybody. But I love how they're playing. Both line, even the offensive line's gotten a little better. And on the flip side, the defense has just been really, really good. Even the secondary for Arkansas, I think's been great. Green still gives me pause at quarterback, but he's done just enough. I think he's played well so far this year, especially if he takes care of the ball. They're in this game. So late last week, I didn't move on Oregon. I didn't mess with that. I looked at the props, but I took LSU late. And I kind of love that they came back. Maybe you could say Ole Miss blew that game a little bit, but Nussmeier made the plays. LSU's defense, I think, has gotten a little bit better. Obviously, from how dreadful they were last year, and games just, heading over. Hit on the total makes me look to the under in this total, just to throw that out there. I think this is too many points again. We saw last week they thought there'd be a ton in that game. It went to OT, still stayed under. Jose, with Ole Miss, LSU. So I got to be on Arkansas here. The last 4 meetings, LSU's won 3 of them, all decided by 3 points. I'm on Arkansas here. Big game at home. They need a big win here. This program. I think this is the spot right after the huge, huge win for LSU. And I think it's a perfect time to fade Brian Kelly because I didn't want him last week, but night game, Tiger Stadium. I moved on to late Saturday. And I'm ready to fade him here. So give me Arkansas. I got a +3, -115 in GM.
All right. Well, beautiful. 2 great cappers are aligned there. And I will be on Arkansas here as well with you lads. All right. Let's go to another Arkansas. How about Arkansas State versus Southern Miss here? The Bizarro World version of the game we just talked about. 7 points on the road here, Connor Mack. Let's talk about where the market is in this game, and I can pass it to our guy here. Wow, funny enough, Connor, you'll be shocked to hear only 1,170 tickets bet on Arkansas Southern Miss here. So not a game that's very popular to bet so far, but Arkansas, no information on the spread, but on the total here, we have 64% of the bets and money on the under in this game here. And let us see if we have moved enough here, moved at all on this total here. We went from a 51.5 to a 55.5 and showing 56 at some places as well. Wow. Connor, we're skyrocketing here. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think it doesn't move much more. I mean, I'd love to get 56.5, but we're here right now, Jose, because I like this under. I think this is like 4 or 5 points off in this game. And one of the keys is Southern Miss. They've been one of the best under teams for me last year and to this year. The slowest team in all college football right here, Southern Miss. The slowest. Arkansas State, middle of the pack. But this offense is all right. And they got blasted last week, after the big win. South Alabama was on them. They got their ass whipped by Texas State. But one thing with Southern Miss, when you go through their numbers on offense are just gaudy. They're horrible. 127. They can't run it. Both these defenses are right on the 110 range and haven't been great all year, but they're just so slow. Southern Miss is just going to slow this game to a fault. I wish I was on a little more unders with the Southern Miss team, like that Louisiana game, 23-13. I don't know if it's like that here, Jose, but I think this line's way off. Southern Miss just doesn't want to get up and go at all. Arkansas State, will do what they want. This game will be close. I even lean Southern Miss, but I didn't have over the touchdown or so. And this one, I needed more points to even look their way. But at 56, give me the under. It's one of my favorite plays.
Wow. Under going in the face of the market here, Connor. I love when cappers do that, and it's fun to watch. So under in Arkansas State Southern Miss here. Beautiful breakdown there. And that leads us, Connor, to our final game, another game that our guy Wine Time has talked about. And, of course, we're talking about his UCLA Bruins. I mean, come on. How are we not talking UCLA here? Going to Rutgers. We talked about this game briefly. Well, I guess not really briefly, but we talked about this game with Wine Time. So I'll let you cook here, Connor. You say Rutgers. What side are you on?
When this total came out, no side for me here in this game at all. What did Wine say in the top, which is true. This, or maybe you hit on it. UCLA, just how tough their schedule has been, and kind of who they played, the travel that they've already had this year. Garbers came back, Chase Garbage. He just can't get it done. This offense is so bad. This offense, dead last. This UCLA offense. And you want to talk about another slow team almost there, Jose? Right here is UCLA. So 133 and the rank 130 slow. This team is so slow. It's crazy. One thing, and why I love so much the under in this game, is because Rutgers on the other side after a horrible spot. And I wish I was all over. I like Wisconsin. The line just went to 1. I didn't move on them, and they kicked the shit out of Rutgers. Kaliak-Manis, he doesn't have it. And one of the problems UCLA, once again, UCLA can stop the run. They've given up the pass here, 265 yards. They've kind of given up that in the first half against these better teams. And then kind of the second half, these teams let up the pedal and they've lost. And they've stayed in and covered the number, in these games as UCLA. But Kaliak-Manis can't throw it. I've seen enough of this kid over the years, 3 or 4 years. This is the one spot you could beat UCLA. He's not going to do it. Rutgers defense still pretty good. It's dropped a little bit, obviously. Gets smacked by Wisconsin and giving up 42 points. But I think this defense still top 40. It's right in that range, 37 to 38. This thing is just, I don't know how it gets over 40. This is under, slow, ugly football, handed off. And it's been like that in UCLA games. I mean, even in the Minnesota game, Garbers had a little bit more yards. They still couldn't score. Both these teams struggle in the red zone. They just flat out do. They can't get the job done. We will see field goals under.
All right. Well, beautiful.
41 and a
Both
half.
of you guys on the under in this game. Both of you guys aligning on both of your plays here today, which is a great sign for us cappers here. Connor, did you want to add a game here? Did you want anything else official here?
No, I'm going to wait. Obviously, I want to wait a little bit with Georgia Tech. I think Notre Dame maybe could win that game on 9-0 cover, and Haynes Kings deal with injuries. And I didn't move yet on this game, so I just didn't want to give it out. It was Houston, Kansas. These teams are both off the bye. I was really looking at this under. Houston's just been money to the under. Dating back to last year, 7 straight. And even at 47.5, I think there's value. But I got to wait. I got to look at this a little more. Obviously, they made the quarterback change. Did Houston, and it worked out for them. Again, it's a bad defense at TCU, but they scored 30 points. Maybe that propels them, and there's more points in this game. Kansas has been awful. We know that. So I got to look at it more. I like Houston, and the under. Then with the points and the under. I will add this. This game was too low for me real quick because I bet it already, so I'll just give it to you here. Baylor, Texas Tech. I'm on the over 55 here. I got -108. I think there's still 55.5. I think this number's too low. I think we're just catching a little too low off a couple games with Texas Tech that stayed under. The Arizona State game, they went up and down the field. There was just field goals. And I don't know how Arizona couldn't move the ball on Texas. It's a horrible Texas Tech defense that rates, at the bottom in the 120s. One thing I've seen with Baylor, even against Iowa State, they can move the ball. Obviously, can throw it around. Normally if this was just any upside games, I think this would be 60-61. I see a ton of value here at the 55. So Baylor, Texas Tech, I bet it over 55.
All right. Well, there's one more official play for everyone there. Baylor, Texas Tech over in that game. Well, Connor, appreciate you joining us here as always. You give us great analysis here on Wednesdays. We appreciate it, my man. Where can the people find you next?
Shout out to the chat, Rod Z, my dude. Gravy Bats, Wager, Tech, Give Wine Time. I love him, man. You're on the under. AOD, as always. Shout out to all you guys. Robert Franklin. What'd you say? What'd you say in the Dodger game? Saying the Dodgers?
I'm on the Dodgers. Yeah, I'm going to be on the Dodgers, I should say. I'm going to be on a money line, yeah.
All right.
I think the Dodgers will win all the games where it's even, 1-1, 0-0, 2-2, and the Mets will fight back. And when they're down 2-1, I'll bet them. They'll tie it up. That's what it seems like what they do. And we'll go 7 games, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it might. Yeah, I think it goes 7 as well. So,
yeah, it's gonna be fun. But Connor, hitting the books every Monday. Follow.
Yeah, go
subscribe. The whole thing.
Yep. Go to Hitting the Books. Subscribe to it. Like it. Do the whole damn thing. That is it, my friend. I'll see you next week.
Real quick, our guy Saturated has a question for you before we head out here, Connor. Are you only Illini? You like the Illini today?
I haven't bet them yet. But if there's any time, I think, we were talking about on Monday, I think they can, is this year. You got a team that just can't throw it in Michigan. I mean, they just can't pass the ball. They have to run it, 35 times. So, when they were kind of asleep, they got the big lead, and then holy shit. I mean, it went to OT with Purdue last week. I mean, maybe they were looking ahead a little bit. And that's I always talk about prevent defense prevents you from winning. It almost prevented them from winning in that game. But yeah, I don't know. I lean their way. They haven't beat Michigan in 15 years? I was looking at it.
Wow.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, that's
been a long time. Altmaier. He's big. I mean, for how many times he's fucked up in the past, he's been a little bit better this year, obviously. I mean, he's key. He makes big plays. Yeah, I think they're in it, especially now. I mean, you got 3.5 too, right? Just gone to 3.5. A lot of Michigan love.
Okay, well, beautiful. I keep saying wine time. Saturated.
3.5.
Saturated likes that look there as well, shockingly enough. But shout out to you, Saturate. Thank you for the question here. Shout out to you, Rod Z. Thank you for putting in those stats on the over here. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Connor, again, I appreciate you for joining us here. The Unicorn Capper. This is your time here. NFL, college football, NBA.
I need a good week though on here. I know, but I need a good week on here. Shit.
Yeah, well,
So-
this is gonna be the week right here.
Yeah, we're gonna roll. I had a decent week overall, but we got to bring the games on here, Jose. Come on. Now.
Well, I
Come
believe
on.
in you, Connor. I believe in you. That
We're
record's going to
good.
change here.
Yeah,
Connor,
we're good. We're
I
good.
appreciate you for joining me. Any last thoughts here?
No, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the chat. Go Dodgers. You know, I'm just saying that as a fan. God damn it. And then you're betting him, Jose.
Yep.
But shout out to the chat. I love you guys, Becca. Best chat in the goddamn game. I always say that hands down. I'm out, baby. Peace.
Shout out to you, Connor Mac Picks. Thank you for joining us here. And thank you for your picks, as always, here. So we'll quickly recap here. I'm on the Dodgers here. Gokster as well. By the way, again, if you are wondering, like, what is this person on? What does this person say? Go follow our guys on Twitter. Gokster is at Gokster99. Follow him there. His best bets. He's got Toronto regulation. And if you guys know, he took the Kings on the other side as well to be safe there and cancel that out. But he also has Toronto Kings no goal first 10 minutes plus 140. And Boston, Colorado under 6.5 there minus 110. So shout out to you, Mr. Gokster. Follow our guys on Twitter, Connor Mac Picks at Winetime Sports. You'll get all the picks there as well. And I'll quickly mention to turn the show into a little bit of a somber show here. I will mention real quick that we did lose someone in the Southtown 101 family. We had a death in the family yesterday. It sucks. Obviously, we lost if you guys follow Southtown on Twitter, you'll see it. Our guy Joey, super young, 20-year-old, died into a car accident yesterday. Just really shitty stuff. And I obviously produce his mom's show, 210 La Chismosa. So if you can, it doesn't have to be prayers. It doesn't have to be, financial. Just send them the positive thoughts and good vibes in their direction. Just really horrible stuff yesterday. Again, the guy was only 20 years old, just a young kid. So if you guys can send your, positive thoughts. And by the way, if you guys have come to Southtown, you guys have probably seen Joey as well. He was a bar back there as well. He's a really cool dude, just a really cool dude. And yeah, so if you guys, send that positive energy to 210 La Chismosa and all of their family, because it just happened yesterday. And, Southtown's kind of reeling. So if you guys do whatever you guys can, to do that, again, thoughts, prayers, sending good energy, whatever you guys can do. We appreciate it. Again, it's kind of a shitty way to end the show, but been thinking about them since yesterday, and it's just something that obviously no parent wants to deal with. So on that note, we appreciate you guys. Hug your children close. Appreciate your family. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Betting with the Bag returns. So until then, say hey and fly high, Joey. We appreciate you, my man.